Here we go. We're live. Okay. Hi, everyone. We are here today. One of our 4 or 5 speakers coming on live today, Erica Simon, Erica Encouraged. And some of you might have seen her yesterday. She did an amazing video talking about the conference. So, Erica, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be on here.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to have you. This year is going to be phenomenal and blow all the other years. I mean, we've had amazing content now for over 4 years, but this year...
I was telling somebody about it last night and about a couple of the keynote speakers and talking about, what this is. And she was like, oh my gosh, I love her. It's really going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be phenomenal.
A great group of women.
Yeah, the keynotes this year, they're all personal friends of mine, and they're all just these amazing women. And I'd given keynotes in the past, because it's
take notes, like, become a close personal friend of Lisa's.
Yeah.
So.
But all of these women, I just was like, oh, you could be a keynote. You could tell your story. You could, they've
well, that's what we do as women, right? I mean, that's how we get to know each other, is that we share our stories.
We do
with each other. And that is how we build those connections, and we build those communities, and we build those relationships, is that we tell each other our stories. And 9 times out of 10, I have friends that I have them tell me their story, or they're telling me about something that happened in their life. And I'm going, you need to talk to so-and-so.
Yeah.
Because they have something that you need to hear out of that story, or you have something that, is really impactful. And so, this is something that needs to be shared.
Right. So I would say, if you are looking to make a change, and you're not quite sure where you want to go or how you want to do it or which direction, or you just you don't know what you don't know, or or you want to end a relationship, but you're afraid because you don't know what those next steps are, or, there are so many things that you could learn by hearing these women's stories on this at this conference. So, and sometimes it's just holding space for them and listening to their story. And I mean, I cry like 4 times a day when we're producing this, because I'm either happy tears or my heart is breaking or something. But just being there and witnessing and experiencing their story as they tell it is something that is, I think, something that we owe each other as women.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, what inspired you to want to tell your story on our platform?
So recently, I've really been working towards sharing what I learned. In September of 2011, my husband was critically injured in Afghanistan on a combat mission. And the days and weeks that followed that were incredibly traumatic, but also incredibly blessed. And the lessons that I learned from that time keep coming up. They keep coming around. They keep coming up. They keep happening, where it continues to be something that is super impactful, not only to our family and our little circle, but a wider circle of people. And I kept having friends go, you really need to talk about this more. You really need to tell other people about this, because it's so encouraging to hear. And somebody just kept dropping the word encouraging around me. And so I actually changed my Instagram name this last year to Erica Encouraged. And I was like, that's it. That's what I want. I want to encourage other women in building their lives, in just who they are and how great they are, and how we can truly support each other, because that kind of support was what really made a difference in my life. Yeah. Not only when I was going through something super traumatic, but also just in our everyday life. I have girlfriends that without their, encouragement and their support and their connection and their story and their, just being there with that text of like, hey, we're doing pizza tonight. Do you want to come over?
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it through some days.
Right.
And so it's been just really important for me to continue to share and talk about how we as women can continue to encourage each other, especially in a post-COVID, it's not really post, but post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic, world. Right. And that's exactly right. That's the whole point of She Is Me and this movement is that we have to come together, that we're stronger together, and that we need each other. And 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 we have to build these relationships of trust and community so that we can thrive and that we
Yeah,
can be who we were meant to be.
exactly.
Right? Yeah. Um, what is the key takeaway? And you kind of covered it now, but what's that key takeaway that you want to leave viewers with?
Encouraging other women is something that we all can do. We can actually build communities. That elusive village is not as elusive as we like to make it out to be. And that hope is an action. Hope is a verb.
That's nice. I love that. I need that on a t-shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
I learned that. I have a good friend of mine who that was her heart cry after her mom passed away from ovarian cancer, and it has stuck with me of that hope. Hope is an action. Hope is a verb.
I love that. I'm going to use that in your intro when I do that for the conference. Something that you want everyone to know about you.
So I am the mother of 2 teenagers. I married at 21, so I'm getting ready to celebrate my 20th wedding anniversary, and that is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And I live on coffee and Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
So if you want to make my heart happy, it's coffee or Dr. Pepper. And unfortunately, my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, has inherited my addiction to those things. So
Dr. Pepper is amazing. I do love it. Yeah. Great. So why when you saw or heard about She Is Me, why did you want to become, or what?
I will be point blank. I was searching for calls for speakers. I felt this really strong calling on my heart that this was the time for me to start working on finding ways to share our story and share my experience and share what was on my heart about encouraging other women and us being there for each other. And when I ran across, apologies, the delivery guy, I can hear the post office truck driving past the house. And when I saw the She Is Me conference, I looked through it and I was like, went back and looked at like, okay, well, who were some of the speakers before and who were some of these women? And I had complete imposter syndrome. I was like, I'm going to throw this out there with the full expectation of, hey, I put myself out there and that's all this is going to be. But I was so drawn to the wide variety of stories that have been shared previously. And it wasn't just about leadership, and it wasn't just about business, and it wasn't just about coaching, or it wasn't just about it was all of our stories as a collective that really was like, I'd really like to do this. And I did not realize how many of us had applied.
Yeah. A lot this year.
I missed the welcome email by a few days because I had I wasn't even looking. I had been sick that week and I wasn't even looking at my email and looking at anything. And when I opened it, I was like, so it was quite, I mean, I'm incredibly, incredibly honored to get to share our story through this platform.
Oh, I'm so excited that you are sharing your story. And just so anyone who's watching or watches this, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to have a business to be a speaker. You just need to have a story to share. If you applied and you didn't get chosen to speak at the conference, please don't be disheartened. You have an opportunity to share your story in so many other ways. And so just stay tuned to the channel, sign up for the email. You'll get information on how to do that and some of the different events that we have coming up. But we want every woman that wants to share their story with us to share their story on the platform in some way, shape, or form. And we try to make it as easy as possible. The conference, it's very, very difficult to pick because everyone's
I
story is
can't even imagine. I can't
so
even imagine.
amazing.
Even just knowing some of the women that are already in there, like I I cannot process having to do that. I applaud you all for making those decisions.
And sometimes it's not even about your story. It's about how you how you filled out the application, or how, it's sort of like your energy, almost how your energy comes across, and
Yeah.
how you interact with us. And so yeah, it's a lot of things. It's not just one thing, and it's not like, oh, we read your story, it's not good enough. It has nothing to do with
No,
that.
I mean, and that's the thing is like, and you're also looking for a mix of certain type, like you're looking for, you can't have all stories about leadership, and you can't have all
Right.
stories about entrepreneurs. You can't have all stories about, I'm a military wife. Like you can't have all stories about somebody who's gone through, miscarriage and loss, or like it takes such a wide variety of all of
Right.
us to come together and participate.
Yep, and that's it. It's that as much diversity as we can, so that everyone has representation at the conference. Now, throughout the year, we didn't last year because I was really sick last year, so we didn't have the events that we normally have. But we do normally have like a health event, and
Right.
a domestic violence event, and a creative event, and like how to live your creative life, and a STEM event, and stuff like that. So we try and have these specialized events, but the yearly conference is really just as many as wide of a range of stories as we
Yeah.
can, so everyone is represented. So thank you for that, and making that point. Erica, we are so privileged to have you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I hope
you. I'm excited.
everyone can catch Erica's talk. And if not, you can watch it on demand. So thanks, Erica.
Thank you.